another good leader on top of it, especially coming off a toxic situation in Houston, dude, he's gonna ball out next year. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I think you're
no, I wouldn't be shocked if he played 16 games, gets 7, 8 sacks next year, like fucking nobody's business. He's gonna eat. I don't.
Yeah,
I
depends
think
on where he goes too. So
I just don't know. I just don't know where he's gonna fit on our team because the way I seem to see the Todd Bowles defense, even though JPP is considered a linebacker, he's used as a defensive end, just like Shaq Barrett is. So they're listed as linebackers, but they're not. Every time you see him on a rush, it's a 4-man rush in the front, but not your typical 4-man rush as is listed. There's no peel back.
Right. It's a 3-4 scheme. That's what he's running.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you going to use him as? Because if you're using a 3-4 scheme, you have Vita Vea in the middle, you have Shaq Barrett on one side, you have JPP on the other, and then you had McLeod in the middle. So, but McLeod is a tackle, not a defensive end. So what are you going to do? Because granted, that's it. This is if Shaq Barrett does come back. You know what I'm saying?
So what I personally would do.
Last thing I'm going to say, because I want you to address it. That's the only reason I'm interrupting. Is, and I don't know what our cap space looks like. But go ahead.
All right. So McLeod's gone. Right. McLeod isn't your nose tackle. Okay. Vita Vea is your nose tackle. He's on a rookie deal. Sue is going to come back. Sue 100% will come back. Sue's going to be your D end. 100% he will be one of your D ends. JPP is your other D end. Your outside linebackers, one will be JPP, the other one will be a rookie or someone that you draft, sign, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Those are your outside linebackers. It'll be a pure pass rusher, maybe someone from like a Clemson kind of scheme, an ACC kind of scheme, maybe Big 12, depending on how fancy you want to get, right?
Yeah.
That linebacker opposite Devin Bush. At worst, right, you have JPP, JJ Watt, and a rookie on one side. At best, depending on how you want to spin it and how you want to move people around, right, you could have rookie, JJ Watt, Devin Bush, or whatever, right? JJ. Yes, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm saying Devin Bush. He's with the Steelers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think JJ is going to be your 3-4 D end. And if you have Sue, Vita Vea, who's like 350, and JJ, you're challenging these guards to say, hey, can we leave Vita Vea alone with our center and actually have a shot? Probably not. Vita Vea is going to win that. Okay, so if we know that we have to double team Vita to at least take up his mass, is Sue going to beat our guard one-on-one? And is JJ going to beat the other guard one-on-one? That equation, just the front three and the fact that you have to put 5 offensive linemen to figure out, hey, these 2 guys have Sue, this guy has Vita Vea, and these 2 guys have JJ, let alone if someone else blitzes. That equation wins because it's hard. That is a lot of communicating for offensive linemen that are trying to figure out before the snap count, and maybe your quarterback's audibling or doing whatever, and you're like, fuck, we just went from a pass to a run, so all right, cool, then we're going to slide down, we're going to double team Vita, and we're going to fucking try to move to, Devin White, and then hopefully, the rookie doesn't tee off on someone. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of effort, and that's a really disgusting front three. And if I'm Todd Bowles, I'm saying, hey, we need JJ.
Levante, are you saying the rookie's going to take the spot of Levante David?
Yeah, I think Levante is gone. I think he deserves to stay. I think that because the salary cap drops, Levante makes sense to let go. McLeod makes sense to let go. Shaq definitely makes sense to let go. Because realistically, could you get a younger player to do what Levante David did?
I don't think so. And I'm telling you, okay, I'm only saying this because there's 2 reasons why I'm saying this. Imagine if I'm telling you Zach Taylor's going to get cut from the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? That hurts.
Huh?
I get it. No, okay, we're not arguing that. I'm just
no, I know. Just throw
I'm just saying, imagine if I'm telling you the Dolphins are going to cut Zach Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Even though maybe you could say,
who's Zach Taylor?
Zach Thomas.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, cut him. Fuck.
Sorry, my bad. So imagine I tell you that you're gonna cut Zach Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, like, come on, man, that's our guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of
He's
those
the guy,
moves, man.
if you look at our entire defense in the last 9 years, he's the only guy who has been there all 9 years. Because all our corners got replaced. We're not going to talk about Chris Conti. Hello. and then he's in.
Brent Grimes.
The whole
Hargraves.
Brian Grimes wasn't there for 9 years. Yeah, but they weren't there for 9 years or 3-4 years. But the heart and soul of that defense was always Levante.
Defensive captain, yeah.
That's why I find it hard that Levante David would leave, because he's the heart, and he's the one that's been mentoring Devin White the entire time. So that's why I don't think he's going to leave. And I saw an interview they had with him before the season started, when they were getting all hyped up because Brady just got there, and they were talking about Levante David, that the only reason Levante David is considered the best linebacker in the NFL is because Luke Kuechly, obviously was better. You know what I'm saying? He had the right stats. But there was a lot of people arguing that Levante David was right there next to him the entire time. I don't know how true.
Maybe he comes back on a team-friendly deal. Quick note on JJ. I know I know a lot of people, say like hypothetically you're a Steelers fan and automatically you think of the injuries. He's only been hurt 3 years out of 11. I personally don't consider that injury prone. And
that's fair, but I think it's the fact that I think 2 of them have been in the last recent years.
It was exactly. You literally just took the words out of my mouth. It was that, and it was back-to-back years where he played a total of 8 games in 16 and 17. And then in 2019, he only played 8 games, but he still had 4 sacks. Yeah. I mean, this guy has 100+ sacks. You know what I'm saying? There's a future Hall of Famer. Like, I don't know how, if your team can get him, how you're not excited about it.
I'm super excited. I'm just worried about who we're gonna cut to make the space.
Oh yeah. No, 100%.
Because I love my defense right now. But
if you're a Packers fan,
but we need a push.
Like
we need a push. We need a push to get.
Packers can't afford him.
We need to push to be able to get. We need to push to be a better pass rushing team, because our pass rushing was. I mean, in the playoffs it was great, and it might be because we're gelling now. But our pass rushing needs to be better. J.J. Watt is known for what?
Pass rushing. 100+ sacks.
That's why I see that we could get him. But that's why I'm like, and I see why he would want to come to the Bucs, because to your point, he has the sacks to be a Hall of Famer, but he doesn't have the title.
He's got the sacks. He's got the money.
So that's what I'm saying. All he's missing is the title. So I could see him saying, you know what? I'll get paid dirt cheap this year. I'll go to the Bucs, get my title. I'm retiring. Bye, y'all. See you later.
I don't see him doing that though.
What do you see him going?
I see him going to a team like Chris was saying, Buffalo, Cleveland, Tennessee.
He's not going to Cleveland.
No, probably not. No, but
his brothers play for the Steelers. He's not going to do that.
Stop saying it. Stop saying it.
His brothers play for the Steelers. They're all really tight. I don't see that happening. I'm not disagreeing, but I don't.
No, but they're also a competitive family, so they could be talking shit twice a year.
Not that kind of competitive.
I think
that rivalry's toxic. That rivalry's toxic, and for good reasons. But that's.
But I don't see that. One of those type of teams that say that, like, they made it to the playoffs, and I'm helping them get to the big game.
Right, this is the missing piece.
That was already there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Is J.J. Watt leaving like Stafford is? Like, he still has a contract, or is he a free agent?
No, he's a free agent. He can't sign anywhere until March 17th. And his agent and him will specifically make decisions. Realistically, so if JJ wanted to be slick and play the salary cap and play for a title, JJ could sign like a $1.7 million deal and go to whatever team he wanted.
Guys, listen, me and Chris talked about it this morning. The NBA effect about ring chasing is going to the NFL. People saw, and I'm not knocking Tampa at all, because Tampa did it the right way. But guys are going to notice that, oh, don't worry, but when you guys, go on a run these 2 or 3 years, the haters are going to come out. Right now, everything's cool because, Brady's relatable, and Gronk came back, and they were having fun.
They're drinking, they're partying, chucking the Lombardi trophy. I got 6 more of them.
Let the Bucs lose 5 games in the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And you already saw it in the Super Bowl. Oh, Brady's getting the refs. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. So that effect is already coming to where guys are calling each other up, like, hey, when do we come here? Leonard Fournette, AB, for instance. And that's why, me and Chris talked about it this morning, I think that's why you're seeing all these guys out of nowhere. Just like, I want out, mid-deal.
Question for the floor. Do you think Leonard Fournette is going to stay with the Bucs? Did he sign for a 2 year
yes.
or 1 year? I can't remember.
1 year. He signed as a free agent. It was a 1 year deal mid-season.
I think he'll come back.
I don't know because he proved his point. He got the ring so he can go somewhere and get paid now. But he didn't get paid.
Exactly. I see your point, but I also see him staying because that boy ate the playoffs. And I mean, why wouldn't he? What reason does he have to leave?
If he's smart, he'll stay in Tampa. If he wants money and wants to go to a team that is young and gelling and hip and cool and attractive, I could see the Dolphins offering him a contract. He doesn't have a spot with the Rams. And the only reason I say the Dolphins is because Myles Gaskin, nice receiving threat, will get you yardage. Leonard Fournette might get you the ugly yards. Like, if I would be a coach talking to Leonard Fournette, I'd be like, hey, buddy, how about you start fucking eating? And you're going to get hit a lot. And it's going to suck, but you're going to get paid. So figure it out. But I don't like cheeseburgers.
Calvin Noy said it best this morning. Calvin Noy said it best this morning on Pat McAfee. He said, hey, I'm in Miami in a Bentley. What's there not to like? And the team's young and good.
It's
free agents are going to want to come to Miami, just like Tampa. It's a tax-free state. Why not? No state tax.
Side note, I can see the Dolphins drafting Najee Harris. Just throwing that out there.
What did you say, Chris? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Side note, I can see the Dolphins drafting Najee Harris. I just wanted to throw that one out there in case it does happen. I'm like, hey, I called that.
Yeah.
Who's Najee Harris again? Is that the wide receiver for Alabama?
Nope, he's a running back for Alabama, and they would draft him at like pick 18.
I can see that.
Because that would be...
You got it. Yeah, you got it. I mean, that's what, honestly, in my personal opinion, I don't think our team could have gotten undefeated. I would say that, okay? But I feel that our team could have done record-wise a lot better, especially against the Saints. If our running game would have just done better. But Bruce Arians is thick. That boy thick. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even say that.
He don't like to change. He don't like that I get you drinking. That boy.
No, I'll take it a step further, Joe. It's what we talked about a couple weeks ago. I didn't know this. For the first time ever, Tom Brady's parents, specifically his dad, didn't go to a game because his dad had COVID and was like legit sick. So his dad didn't go the first 2 weeks of the season. And lo and behold, coincidentally, they got blown out the first 2 weeks of the season. So say his dad doesn't get sick. You guys won 10 games, right? 10, 11 games?
Yeah.
Okay. So say you go 1-1 through 2 weeks. Yeah. Exactly. And that buys you a home game in the playoffs.
I'll counter.
No, what I meant was Bruce Arians because the man likes the deep threat in the first 6-7 games, and then after he get our ass beat by the Chiefs, he goes, okay, maybe we could run the ball and do some play actions, and then boom, that's when it all ignited.
I'm saying even with that flaw, you guys still had enough talent to win a couple more games. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Coach Tagman.
Go ahead.
Go in, Coach.
All right. So after the Chiefs game, Bruce Arians, I don't know who he listened to. I don't know if it was Tom or Byron or God or
I think it was
John Lynch.
Oh God.
I think it was Tom.
I don't know who it was, but he did something that he has never done. He went from 3 wide receiver sets and he said, "Listen here, we're gonna do 2 tight end sets, and we're gonna figure it the fuck out. If you have a 2 tight end set of Gronkowski, top tight end, and then you throw OJ Howard,
football shape.
Yeah, and you can notice that he's still thin. That boy's still thin. He ain't thin. He's still thin.
And you throw OJ Howard in there and you say, hey, buddy, we're going to go dual tight ends. One of you guys might block, or you guys might catch passes. You never know. And the other 2 receiving options are Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. That's pretty fucking simple. Hey, Tommy, if you don't like what you see, guess what? We're just going to run it. Oh, shit, you mean I can hand the fucking ball off? They fucking back off? Bet.
I think with preseason and a full training camp, the Bucs are easily 13-3, 14-2. Easily.
Yep.
You
Straight
give that
facts.
team time to gel, easily. Easily.
Yeah,
The Bucs will win the NFC next year. Period.
Oh, 100%. Look what happened.
I think we just need a better offensive line. That's all. That's just one.
I mean,
think
yeah.
our first round draft should be. If we get J.J. Watt, let's say we get J.J. Watt, I think all we need is an offensive lineman for the first round.
You will get offensive linemen. You don't have to draft them.
First,
like veterans are going to get cut for whatever reason. You have you have teams that are miles over the cap. And I'm not just picking on the Eagles or Saints. I'm saying in general there are a lot of teams that are over the 185 proposed cap. It's not official yet because of the league year. But you're going to be cutting people. Like Trent Williams might be a fucking salary cap casualty. And he is a fucking Pro Bowler. If he doesn't have cancer on his dome piece, he's a fucking perennial Pro Bowler. And he will go to Tampa in a heartbeat. He'll be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm taking my talent to South Beach.
It's that NBA effect. Guys are going to take that veteran minimum to win a ring.
Taking my talent to South Beach.
Because look at what's happening with Aaron Rodgers. People are completely ignoring this guy's talent and numbers. And they're just going, oh, he's only got one Super Bowl. As if, like, Super Bowls just grow on trees unless you're Tom Brady.
Well, yeah.
Like, guys are going to go ring chase, and they should.
And the thing is that my mindset is, if everything, because who in the AFC is going to beat the Chiefs? Especially after this, they're going to draft the right players. I'm sure that they are. Andy Reid's not going to be an idiot. Okay? But in the AFC, the Bills might, you're right. The Bills, but
the Browns,
so the Chiefs, you're right. My bad. Believe it. The Browns, you know what I'm saying? The Rams. Listen to the Browns after they got.
Kevin's like, I've been waiting. Tag me in.
The Browns, you know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, there's a great chance it might be the Chiefs and the Bucs again for round 2 next year, for all we know.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But Joey, did you catch all the teams you just mentioned? What do they all have in common?
I don't know.
Rookie
They're
quarterbacks?
all in the AFC.
No, I know.
AFC.
No, I know.
No, he's talking about the AFC Championship.
That's what
Oh yeah.
Dumbass.
That's gonna be a triple threat. That's gonna be a triple threat.
Fucking stupid.
Hell in a cell. But I'm saying the Bucs are in there. The only team that can beat them is the Packers, and the Packers are probably gonna shoot themselves in the foot yet again.
You don't think that the Bills could beat them?
No. Absolutely not. No. I'll take this one. I'll take this one.
The who can beat them?
I'll take this one.
The Bills.
100%. I'll take this one.
Right.
Okay. The Bills realistically need 2 other starting corners to slow down the Chiefs, and you can't get that this year or next year or through the draft. It's unfortunate. The other starting corner that was so good was Josh Norman.
Fuck them, that's why.
Think about that. Josh Norman, the guy that had one good year in Carolina, was your other starting corner trying to cover, what, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman? That's not going to work.
Don't tell him that.
I like the Bills. I'll buy the Bills. I will buy the Bills. I don't buy the corners. If the corners aren't fast enough, you can't stop the Chiefs. And every team in the AFC will run to the exact same problem. You either have to you have to make Mahomes run for 500 freaking yards behind the line of scrimmage, or be fast enough to cover them. The Bucs said, "Fuck it, we probably aren't fast enough to cover the wide receivers, but we can hit the shit out of them and make them uncomfortable."
Boy, Patrick Mahomes was running for his life.
I don't think the Bills can generate enough pressure to make him uncomfortable enough in an AFC title game.
Patrick Mahomes probably lost a good 10 pounds running around in that damn Super Bowl.
Bro.
And shit?
Easily.
Oh, man.
Making some of the most unbelievable passes that were almost... That should have been caught.
Bro, he's unbelievable.
I'll say this once,
unreal.
and I'll say this once, and I'll say this till my face turns purple, okay? Baseball players are the real athletes, and I don't care what nobody says. His dad was a baseball player.
He was a baseball player.
How do you think it is that he's able to make those throws? I'll tell you this right now.
Yes.
Baseball.
He did get drafted. He did get drafted by the MLB.
Yeah.
Patrick. Oh,
Yeah,
But
he drafted
don't,
did
don't,
too, though.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
Russell
don't fucking
Wilson
know.
drafted him.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm googling.
to be
Kyler
fair,
Murray.
Johnny Manziel got
Right
drafted.
now.
That's not like it's not like I'm saying he got drafted. I'm not saying that he was like the #1 overall pick or like the next
Oh
Mike.
no.
Yeah, but somebody.
No,
listen,
we
that's
know
still
that.
impressive.
Yeah. Oh, I think we all know that. I think we all agree with that.
No,
So-
not Patrick Mahomes Sr.
The kid. Tell me about the kid. So his dad
The
talked
Tigers.
about
Yep, Detroit Tigers.
his dad talked about like developing like Patrick as just a kid. And he's like, yeah, you know, we'd be at the ballpark or in the backyard. We'd just be throwing, we'd just be throwing the baseball, right? And they would just be throwing and throwing and throwing. And as time went by, years went by, months, whatever. The dad would just back up a little bit, and then back up here, back up there, back up, and then Patrick would just be slinging this
His
thing.
dad wasn't a scrub either. His dad
He was
was
a pitcher,
solid.
right?
He wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Yes,
He wasn't
he
an ace. But hey,
But
He was playing for Texas.
but just the idea of
He was
just like,
when
hey,
Patty was born.
you think he learned a thing or two from Nolan Ryan?
I think.
doubt it.
So
I
the
think
dad
we'll
realized that like, hey, there's something going on here. When Patrick at like the age of like 13 or 14, he was able to make a throw from the outfield to home plate like accurately. He's like, hey, we might have a thing here.
Yeah,
We're gonna
he
focus
has
on that fucking shoulder.
He
Now
could
with-
have, with his arm and his accuracy, he would have had a sick outfield glove. Sick.
I mean,
Ain't nothing wrong
the
with
way
that
he
either.
the way he runs though, the way he runs, I don't know about all that.
Hey, I didn't say
Or his
I didn't
voice.
say he was a gazelle out there, but that dude would have gunned some dude out at the plate. Is all I'm saying.
Muppet Babies play the outfield.
Hey, so Chris. About Bubba Wallace. Boy, them Bombers were shook again last night.
That's what I was gonna ask you about, but you answered it. I saw your post talking about the Boomers were out today, and I was like,
Yeah. So
what the fuck the Boomers do that?
he ran. They had practice the day that I messaged y'all because I like to read different leagues, comment section on social media just to try to see like where the general consensus is and yeah, we all know what happened last year with his stuff, like with all the race stuff and all that stuff, and that's fine. You can have your opinion about that, but
Who we talking
so Bubba Wallace. So
Okay.
the car
gotcha.
that he swapped with. Okay, the dude that replaced him in the 43 has a couple of wins. He went
Is he
from
driving a Cadillac now?
No, hang on now. Not yet. So what? It's funny because Cadillac sponsors the prototype series, the sports car series. Anyways, so like imagine like next year he runs like the Rolex 24 and he's in a Cadillac. But
Boy,
so
stop.
He essentially did a seat swap, if you really think about it, because the dude that I wouldn't say replaced because this car is not technically a Joe Gibbs Racing car. But
Wait, who is it?
Strongly, Eric Jones. Eric Jones went from Joe Gibbs Racing
he's driving the
to
43.
Richard Petty Motorsports. Yes. And Bubba Wallace went from the 43 to basically the 5th Joe Gibbs Racing car. So people talk about, how Bubba's slow and he sucks and he wrecks every week and this, that, and the third, and it just has nothing to do with, the flag thing and the news thing and all that. Let's just stick to talent, right? People swear he can't drive. The Boomers swear he can't drive.
Yep.
Lo and behold, he was fastest in practice in the same equipment that Eric Jones's came from. Eric Jones was not very fast in practice. Granted, this is one race, but Eric Jones showed speed on the super speedways just like Bubba did. So this is why I'm bringing this up. This seems like the most even version that you can compare the two, given the two different cars that they're running. Eric Jones didn't run very, very well. He was about 10th to 12th all day in the first dual race, the qualifying race on Thursday. Bubba finished second in his qualifying race. So that's why I brought that up, because the Boomers were out in full force because they were like, oh, NASCAR's going to give him the pole. Sure enough, he finishes second in the second dual race, which means he'll start 6th Sunday. So obviously that car is certainly showing speed, and he's ran really good at Daytona and Talladega before in subpar equipment. So it wouldn't be shocking to see him run really well on Sunday. And I cannot wait for it because, boy, it's going to be good. And this is the funny thing, and I'll leave it with, people swear that NASCAR is the only sport that picks and chooses who they want to market. And I'm like, boy, y'all might want to spend a couple bucks and log on to the internet, because how many other quarterbacks have you heard about in the last month in the NFL other than Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, or Tom Brady? You know what I'm saying? This isn't anything new. And,
or the Madden curse.
Exactly.
Come on.
You're talking about a guy,
white people,
who's young, who can attract a brand new demographic to the sport that's never been there before. And you add that with and you're gonna add that with Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. That dude brought back sponsors with his affiliation with Michael Jordan that hasn't been in the sport in years. Do you know how difficult, I know Joey knows from watching Formula One, you know how difficult that is in racing? Dr. Pepper dropped out of NASCAR for a reason. They came back. DoorDash, first time ever, a primary sponsor. This dude had full sponsorship within 2 months of announcing his deal because of the power of Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin. That's not a coincidence. So of course, these are Fortune 500 companies. This isn't Kevin's Mufflers in Belle Chase, Louisiana. You know
or Dogecoin. So he's not getting sponsored by Doge.
Kevin's roast beef sandwiches, Leslie's roast beef sandwiches in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? These are Fortune 500 companies.
Cleveland.
Leave them alone.
Man. And these boys are shook that he's getting a lot of social media attention. I'm like, boy, if y'all listen, I'm gonna send y'all some business for dummies, because I'm not that smart. And if I can figure it out, boy, y'all need Jesus. If y'all can't figure this one out,
I'll tell you what.
bitch.
First of all, you messed up there, because you've been riding that Kenny G train for a whole month. How dare you say Yanni? Well, you know you should have said Kenny G. This be some bullshit. I just got a text from Kenny G. He said, "You better shut the fuck up."
You know what's funny about that Kenny G thing?
What?
Is The Weeknd did like 3 or 4 performances with Kenny G, all these award shows and stuff leading up to the Super Bowl. So that's why I was so hyped. And like, I have a few Kenny G songs on my phone. I'm not like a huge fan, but like that, like if you guys watch the live performances, like Kenny G just came in there and like you can see, like you can see athletes, musicians, entertainers, like you just know that they're like, they know they're the shit. They just got that confidence. Like this dude's out here just with like a little flute saxophone looking thing.
It's a
probably nobody even knows
I
the
hate
name
you.
of it.
It's a
What's
piccolo.
the name of it? It's a piccolo?
No, not fucking.
No, it's not a piccolo. That's not. It's a.
What's the name of
Piccolo's
it?
a smaller
What's the name?
flute. Piccolo's a smaller
Okay,
flute.
so what's the name of it?
It should be a bass clarinet.
It's not a clarinet. It's a saxophone.
It's a boat. It's a little.
Oh, it's a saxophone. Okay, well then.
Yeah.
It's small.
But it looks like a clarinet.
Okay, but it's like straight out.
Yeah. It's not like the 1950s saxophone.
Oh,
That's your
it's
alto
the
sax.
saxophone.
Alto sax. It's your alto sax. Final answer. I played saxophone in middle school. I shit you not. That's an alto sax.
Nerd.
Yeah, well, you know what? Once upon a time, I wasn't that athletic, and then I just like grew like a foot. Is it an alto sax? I feel like it's an alto sax. That's what I would say.
It's straight soprano sax.
Oh.
And it
well, I'm
runs
gonna
for
go hang myself.
$1,200 in case
I'm done.
anybody's interested in
It
being
doesn't
like
matter.
Kenny
I'm
G.
gonna hear Kenny G every time Chris walks into a room now.
That is right.
He's gonna walk in slow mo.
I felt so at the symposium. Just fucking roll up. Just
Man.
what the fuck is that sound? All right.
That's gonna Hey, how Brady walked off that boat, that's going to be me coming out of the hospitality room this year.
Oh, man, that shit was funny
Count
as
it.
fuck, bro.
Count it.
Like, that right there, that's what made me a fan now. Just from that.
Oh, 100%. I'm so happy he went to Tampa because now I can appreciate Tom Brady. Like, I don't have to hate him
He's a totally
anymore.
different
It's
person
awesome.
now. You can totally see the
100%.
No, fuck him. Fuck him.
Facts.
Trash. Garbage person.
No, fuck the Patriots.
I hope he
Fuck the
shanks
Patriots.
each and every. Oh,
Fuck Bill
yes,
Belichick.
that's fair. Yes, I like that.
But Tom Brady's living his best life.
He's out there having a good time now, actually playing it.
You know what?
Totally different.
I was talking to Shay about
That's
this.
why I think the Bucs are gonna wild out.
Yeah.
So I was talking about Shay about like why this is the first time that Tom's been wilding, and I'm like, listen, your first party, your first actual party, like in the Navy, in college, outside of your parents' house, whatever, it didn't matter.
Twilight Tour.
Right, but
Facts.
but that's the first time that you get to go wild, because you've heard study, do your homework, study, do your homework, take the test, do your homework, and you're like, fuck, man, this shit blows. Tom, a 43-year-old Tom, because keep in mind he went from Michigan, which wasn't a whole, probably, I would imagine it being a college athlete in the 90s probably wasn't a whole lot of fun. Maybe some parties, maybe some alcohol, whatever, but you still had to study and you still had to pay attention, right? So we went from school to Bill Belichick, which was study, do your homework, know your role, shut your mouth, Drew Bledsoe's hurt, know your role, fuck, we need you. And it's like, fuck, dude, I've done this shit for like 40 years. I want beer, I want tequila, Gronk's here having fun, why can't I have fun? He's 13 years my junior, I'm gonna get shitty. And just let him get shitty. I'm a Dolphins fan, let him get shitty.
They talked about that in that like expose from the Patriots, and they said that was the biggest reason he wanted to leave. Like he was just tired of the Patriot way, quote unquote.
Yep.
And now
he has gray hair.
Edelman wants to go there. Gronk's gonna go there.
Yep. He has gray hair, not from being old or being in his 40s. He has gray hair from Bill Belichick telling me to fucking study at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, god damn it, Bill,
Honestly,
I'm trying to fucking sleep and I'm trying to drink a fucking Bud Light. Well, it's all the fun. Because, you know, if you have 20 years of doing something and not having fun, you know, like 20 years of like showing up to a job and you're like, fuck, I have to do this job again. Fuck, I have to do,
John,
you know, it's like you know, it's gotta be fucking draining.
Cheesecake Factory was rough, dude.
And then you get someplace where you can actually like, send it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Kevin. Fuck, we're talking football.
And then you can actually get to a spot where like you can have fun. Hold up now.
I don't want to talk about the
No.
Kevin, I got your back. I don't know shit about baseball. I'll argue with anyone.
The Cleveland baseball team. The Cleveland baseball team. The Cleveland baseball team. Training their star shortstop.